Good morning, students. Today we will discuss another experiment which is to determine the RF value of a given amino acid using TLC. TLC means thin layer chromatograph. Thin layer chromatography is a very powerful tool in the hands of a chemist for the analysis of the chemicals, for the separation of the chemicals, and we can determine the RF value of a given substance. Here we will determine the RF value of a given amino acid. So let's take, first of all, what will be the requirement? First of all, we will require the apparatus. We will require a jar. First of all, we have a TLC jar and then glass plate. This is glass plate. This is glass plate and this is TLC jar. This is TLC jar, and we will also require a capillary tube. This is the capillary tube. We will also require an iodine chamber. Iodine chamber. So this is iodine chamber. So these are the apparatus required, and then the chemicals. We will require the amino acid, 1-propanol, and the iodine. So in addition to it, we will also require the ammonia solution. So these chemicals will be required. So how we will proceed? First of all, we have what is RF value. First of all, we define what is RF value. RF value is defined as the distance moved by the component, the distance moved by the component divided by the distance moved by the solvent front. Distance moved by the solvent front. So this is the RF value. In RF value, we determine the distance moved by the component and the distance moved by the solvent front. So then we come to the theory. What is the theory of this TLC experiment? Thin layer chromatography is based on the principle of adsorption. You know that different compounds adsorb to different extents, and the compound which gets strongly adsorbed on the any of the medium. Here we have a medium which is silica gel, that is called stationary phase. So the solvent, this component that adsorbs on the stationary phase, and then we put it into the irrigant, that is called mobile phase. Along with the mobile phase, along with the solvent, the component also rises. Component also rises on the chromatogram, and it moves a certain distance. Different components move to different extent depending upon their tendency to adsorb on the component stationary phase. So the component which is strongly adsorbed, that travels a lesser distance, and the component which is poorly adsorbed, that goes to a higher extent. So this is the theory, that it depends upon the process of adsorption and then its movement along with the moving phase. Then we come to the procedure. How we carry out the TLC experiment? So the procedure involves, basically it involves 4 steps. First one is the development of the TLC plate, or we call it as chromatogram. Development of the TLC plate. How we develop the TLC plate? So this is the TLC plate, which is a clean TLC plate. It is being rinsed with help of the acetone and then dried. Then we prepare a slurry. This is the slurry which we have prepared by mixing silica gel in water and then keeping it for few minutes and then preparing it. There should be no lump into this slurry. Then we dip the next step is preparation of the chromatogram. So this is called a chromatogram, and then we get a plate like this. A plate like this is obtained. A plate like this is obtained. This is the plate which we have obtained by dipping it into this slurry, and then what we do next step is application of the mixture or the component with the help of this capillary tube. We apply the mixture at least 1 centimeter above from the bottom of this plate with the help of a capillary. With the help of this capillary, we apply. This is the compound which is to be whose RF value is to be determined. This is converted into a mixture, and then we apply it on this chromatogram at least 1 centimeter above, very carefully. And then mark it where we have applied this mark. So apply mark A, and then next step is now put it into the solvent which is to be done. Put it into the solvent. Now the solvent will rise. So if we have this, it is the TL. This is your glass plate. This is the glass plate. In the next step, what we do? We apply the silica gel. We apply silica gel on it. Silica gel is applied on. We apply a uniform layer of silica gel on it, and then let it dry into the oven at 90 to 100 degrees centigrade for 10 to 15 minutes, and then apply with the help of a capillary. Apply the component. You have to at least leave 1 centimeter distance from the bottom and apply a mark here. Apply a mark here. And in the next step, in the third step, put this into the solution containing propanol and ammonia, which is called as irrigant, or it is called as moving phase. Here silica is called stationary phase, and ammonia and propanol or any other solvent, that is called solvent front. Now the solvent will rise. You can see here. Now the solvent will rise on it on the PLC plate, and along with this solvent, this mark which we have applied, keep in mind that this mark should be slightly above this solvent. Now this mark will also move along with this. When this solvent rises up to third fourth of the level of the chromatogram, bring it out and dry it. Bring it out and dry it, and then put it into an iodine chamber. Next step is, now what we have to do, now we have to put this plate into a iodine chamber. Now put it into a iodine chamber. Cover it with a watch glass, and it contains solid iodine. This is like this. This is the iodine chamber. We have to put we will now remove this chromatogram after it has traversed a distance up to this level. We will mark it with the help of this capillary at that up to this level the mark this has been right, and then we will let it dry, and after drying this plate, we put this plate into this iodine chamber. Let it develop. This is called the development part, development of the chromatogram. And after, suppose this is the initial point, this is the point up to which the solvent have rise. Let this distance be x centimeter. Let this distance be x. And now, after removing this chromatogram from this iodine chamber, what we do, we will find that a mark is there. A mark is there, and this mark is here. We can see that this mark is there. Thus, solvent has rise up to this level, and this is the mark. This mark is, take the center of it. Take the center of it. It means this is the initial point. This is the point up to which the solvent have rise. This is distance x, and this is the distance up to which the spot has rise. So this is the distance y. This is the distance y. So measure this distance x, measure this distance y, and then put the value. Suppose we have distance moved by the solvent component, by the component is y here, and distance moved by the solvent is x. So the value of x upon y will give us the RF value. Keep in mind that this value will always be less than 1, since the denominator is higher than the numerator. The distance traveled by the solvent will be always greater than the distance moved by this point. This point has moved from this to this, and the solvent have moved from this to this. So this is x distance, this is y distance, and this is the RF value. So this is the procedure and the steps we have to follow. Then we have to take some precautions. First of all, we have to prepare the celery. It should not have any lump. Then take care that this point which is marked, this should not dip into this solvent. If it dips into the solvent, it will dissolve and it will move up. And take the center of this mark. Suppose this spot is a spread one, then take the center of this as the distance. So this is all about your thin layer chromatography. Thank you.